Sunday Lent, this is magnificent series of marvelous readings from the Gospel of John. Now, the kind of climax, we come to the story of the raising of Lazarus. As I mentioned before, in the stories of the woman at the well, and the man born blind, and so many others, the whole spiritual life is summed up in a kind of iconic way. So this is no exception to that rule. Before we get to Lazarus, though, the church asks us to contemplate a little passage from the 37th chapter of the prophet Ezekiel. It's that famous story of the dry bones. Remember, the prophet is given this vision of the dry bones, the result of a battle, all these bodies that have wasted away, leaving the bones behind. And then we hear how the Spirit of the Lord breathes upon them, and first comes the sinew, and then the flesh, and then they stand up in the mighty army, and then God breathes them life back into them. It's God reviving Israel. And we hear this line, I will open your graves and have you rise from them. I don't know about you, but there's really, to my mind, nothing more extraordinary than the whole spiritual order than this. Let's face it, we are all haunted by death. So no matter what you accomplish in your life, no matter how much you achieve and what you've managed to produce or whatever, we all know that it's going to be swallowed up in our own death, right? And that's led some philosophers and others to say, well, what's the point? Life is just absurd. Death has the final say. I will open your graves and have you rise from them. Here's the God of Israel now speaking to us. God of the Bible. The true God. Who does not think that death has the final say. Who announces his purpose clearly to open our graves and have us rise from them. He's the God of the living, not the God of the dead. He wants to breathe life into us, to revive these dry bones. And think for a second now, with the Ezekiel image in mind, I mentioned how the dry bones are undoubtedly the result of a great battle. That in some ways sums up the power of death, I think. The fear of death, putting to death. How many corrupt governments and empires are predicated upon the fear of death? And so you can see it in those dry bones. It's the way death just broods over the whole of life. But the God of Israel has a lordship over all of that field of death. He means to bring us out of our graves. So that's Ezekiel long ago, long before the time of Jesus. But then we turn to the gospel, and we see the fulfillment of Ezekiel's prophecy. So let's do now what we did before, is attend to some of the dynamics of this story, which is so brilliantly told by St. John. Jesus says, our beloved Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going there to wake him. Well, Lazarus has died. No question about that. Lazarus has died. This awful finality has come to him. In blindly referring to this as Lazarus being asleep, what's Jesus doing? Same thing he did, by the way, remember with the daughter of Jairus, the people were all mourning because this little girl has died. Unquestionably, she died. And Jesus said, no, she She's only asleep, and they laugh at her. He's relativizing the power of death. So we fall asleep and fully expecting to wake up. Sleep has no ultimate power over us. Sleep does not have some definitive finality. And so he's pronouncing here, neither is death. Death is like sleep. From it we will awaken. Then we hear, when Jesus arrived at Bethany, just a few miles outside Jerusalem, he found that Lazarus had already been entombed 4 days. Now, what St. John is insisting upon here, that Lazarus is really dead. There's no room for doubt. There's no room for question. You can't say, oh, maybe this is unconscious, they didn't realize it. Or, God said, you're out in the world, please the time, maybe they didn't know. No, he's dead. He's been 4 days. I love this town, and partly because I was the sole bishop up here in Winona, Rochester, on the feast day of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. Coming of age, only the feast day of St. Martha, but the great innovation of Pope Francis is to make it the feast day not just of Martha, but of the 3 siblings, Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. So ever since that day, I've had kind of a special relation to these figures. But Martha comes out to meet me. Later back at the house morning. She said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother never would have died. And you hear everybody in that little phrase, an overtone of what everybody says at some level to God when someone they love has died. It's the whole broken human heart in the presence of the death of a loved one. They say some version of, Lord, how come this has happened? How come you didn't prevent this, right? There's a little edge of not resentment, too strong a word, that edge of painful questioning that all of us feel in the presence of death. But then she says, but even now, so even in my grief, and even with the fact that you've been in the grave for 4 days, even now I'm sure that God will give you whatever you ask for. And Jesus replies, and here in line with a common Jewish expectation of the time, your brother will rise again. And Mary Martha says, well, yeah, I know he'll rise in the last days with all the righteous dead. And then Jesus says, I am, last week, take away me, I am the resurrection and the life. In other words, what Israel was sort of vaguely hoping for, that maybe at the end of time, through God's power, the righteous dead will arise. Jesus is saying, take away me, I am the divine power. I am the resurrection and the life. And I think it's lovely. At this point, Martha makes one of the great confessions of faith in the whole New Testament. Think of, St. Peter, you're the Christ, the Son of the living God. Think of St. Thomas, after he put his fingers in the Lord's wound, he says, my Lord and my God. Well, here's Martha now, listen. Yes, Lord, I come to believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, the one who's coming into the world. I want to speak in defense of Martha a little bit. We know from his earlier stories that, she knows hospitality, and Mary is the Lord's feet, and Martha complains, and Jesus says, oh, Martha, Mary has chosen the better part. Well, that Martha has overcome whatever obsession with, a practical fussiness she had, and that she's come to real profound faith. You see it here. Yes,